try this and see if this will work. So far, it looks like it's working. Yeah, we're starting on YouTube. Starting to go live on YouTube finally, and I don't know what it may have been the settings on Facebook. What I had everything set at, and Facebook would not accept that. So we're now streaming on YouTube.
You're losing me entirely. When you start off, what are you broadcasting to? What are you streaming to?
YouTube and Facebook. That's what I started off at. And it looks like the only thing I'm really capable of or really works now for me is YouTube. And YouTube has been my mainstay for streaming, forever. It just works. But there's on Facebook there's a URL for the YouTube, I think, on Streaming Idiot. But did you find the stream?
I'm not looking for it.
Oh, I thought that.
No, I'm just trying to find out what you're doing. It sounds like what you're doing is, you're just experimenting as you go here.
Well, that is very likely, but I thought I had everything set up so we could stream to YouTube and we could stream to Facebook, but the Facebook stream didn't cooperate, and that wouldn't let the YouTube cooperate. And that may have been part of why I need the 1 gigabit up. If that makes sense.
No. Does Comcast offer, or does Comcast promise, 1 gigabyte up?
No.
Then why did you expect to get it?
Well, I thought the 35 would be better than it seems to have worked out.
But if Comcast does not offer 1 gigabyte up, why did you expect to get 1 gig up from Comcast?
I didn't expect to get 1 gigabit up. I expected to get 35 up.
Yeah.
But it turns out that the 35 up isn't adequate to do some of the things I want to do. If that makes sense.
No. Have you checked the YouTube forums and Periscope to find out if that's even a viable theory?
Check them for why?
To see if that's even a viable theory.
What do you mean?
That the 35 Mbps up is not adequate
for Facebook
to support multiple streams. That's a lot of bandwidth.
Well, apparently, the way I had the configuration for Facebook, I had it configured the same way I did for YouTube, and Facebook didn't accept that. Does that make sense?
Okay, that's settings. That has nothing to do with your upload speed.
Right. But if I try to set Facebook up to what they want it streamed at, I may not have enough bandwidth overall to stream to both services. May not. Now I'll try.
Yeah, but what you're doing, George, is guessing, and I'm not one. I don't guess. Okay, yeah. Everything I do because of my work.
It's factual.
It has to be by the rules, by the court rules. Everything has to be accomplished and stated consistent with the principles of the scientific method. And when you do that, that means you test, you experiment. If you get a set of results, you repeat to make sure that it's not an anomaly. What you're doing is just guessing. And it's kind of like, what? It's like, test it out. You don't need, you have two computers, right? And you've got a computer and you got a phone.
Right.
So you can do something like just point the webcam on one of the computers at a blank wall or the kitchen stove or whatever, and initiate connections and do your testing.
Okay.
The motion of another speaker, having a guest, is not gonna change much. But 35 megabits per second is it's a healthy slug of bandwidth.
So you think it should work?
I think it's a healthy slug of bandwidth, and I'd have to run my own test, but Tom Sinclair does at least 2 streams to YouTube.
Uh-huh. Now who does?
Tom Sinclair.
Okay.
So ask him what kind of bandwidth he has. I don't think he has a gig up. He's in the middle of nowhere, Alabama.
I thought he did.
I don't know. Ask him.
Okay. That would work. I'm trying to get the chat going here. See, I don't know if anybody's watching this or not.
What does it matter?
There's 3 people watching us. And that's not a healthy number. I mean, a big number, but it's a nice number. At least we got 3 people watching us. But I don't know what we talked about before we started streaming. Again, if I had it to do all over again, I would not go for the 1 gigabit internet. Part of the reason is it's $159 a month. That's a chunk of change.
Yep.
And there's some other services Comcast has that what I want to say Comcast has that are not quite that expensive. It still offers decent bandwidth.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you haven't really established what kind of bandwidth you need.
Yeah. Well,
you're trying to stream to Facebook and YouTube and Periscope.
I have not had any luck with Periscope whatsoever.
Well, and you should be able to calculate your bandwidth requirements for all of them.
I don't know if there's any place that has shown what the bandwidth requirements are. Well, now YouTube. Okay, YouTube has a list of bandwidth requirements. And I guess I could probably use that as a thumb reference.
Yeah.
For both YouTube and for Facebook.
Well, no, you'd use one. You'd use it for
YouTube, right?
For whatever it's from, YouTube.
Okay.
Let me just see. Let me just take a look here. Hang on.
Okay. But you say your 360 camera works really well for you, huh?
You said it works okay. I didn't say really well. I'm sure that if I had a far more expensive rig, it would be better. But it's adequate. It's got pretty sharp video. No dragging on motion. In other words, it doesn't look like it's not leaving trails on motion.
Okay.
And video quality is pretty sharp.
So now you have to run this through a video, that's 360 video through a video editor, right?
Actually, you've got to run it through LG's application, their app on iOS and Android first. Then you can export the file and edit it if you want to.
But you have to run through some kind of post-video editor. When you do that, what do you...
No, when you're working with the camera, it's live.
Live where?
On they have apps for iOS and Android.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you can store the video to a micro SD card if you want to.
Okay.
But you can also view it live. You can use a phone or a pad tablet as a viewfinder and record it there as well.
Okay. But if you record it, then you have to run it through the app for the camera, right?
I still don't quite understand what you're getting at.
You have to run through the post video, whatever it does, and for the camera before you can actually post it anyplace?
Well, you're getting a .mov, I think it's a .mov file as output. So for a lot of instances, you would have to convert that to .mp4.
MP4, yeah, okay. All right, before you can upload it. Well, I hope that one of these days you'll get to upload it to so the rest of us can watch it. But you want?
Yeah, well, I wish I had. I wish I went to dinners with a lot of people, because I'll tell you, that is a real use for it. It's really a fascinating environment. For example, let's say that you go to dinner with 8 people or 7 other people.
Yeah. Okay.
You can plunk this down in the middle of the table. Okay.
Okay.
And you'll have a video of all 8 people. And the audio separation, the audio is pretty good, and you can always record to an external device. And when you go to if you're doing tourist stuff, like going to some, climbing a mountain or something, or going through a forest.
Yeah.
It is really cool. And I've watched sample videos, not only from the LG, but from other cameras, where, they take these things on their hikes or their the kayaking or on their bicycles and whatnot, and you got a 360-degree view of the scenery around you. It's really an interesting experience. It's a novelty.
Yeah, but, right. It is. And I don't know how long that it's going to stick around if people are that much interested in it. Now,
well, forever, but it's always a question of, will everybody be using it? I don't think so. But it's kind of funny. It's kind of fun, rather.
Okay, all right. Now, on 360 video, to watch 360 video, you don't need a set of those goggles to watch 360 video. All you need is your phone, and let's see, get me back. All you need is your phone, and when you move your phone around, that moves that 360 video. And I did one that Discovery Channel did of sharks and they did a 360 video of that. And I just used my phone, and I could turn all the way around and all the way around and up and down and see every bit of that 360 video.
Yeah, well, a lot of places like YouTube if you load it up to YouTube, YouTube will recognize it as a 360-degree video.
Don't you have to upload it as a 360 video?
I don't understand what you're saying.
When you upload video to YouTube, you can just upload a file, MP4 or whatever.
Yeah.
But when you upload a 360 video, don't you have to designate to YouTube, but that's a 360 video?
I don't know. I haven't uploaded one.
Okay. All right.
But in any event, when it plays back, YouTube will recognize it as a 360, and you can then use your mouse, or if you have a touch screen, your finger, to navigate within the video.
Okay.
So there are several different ways of doing it. I have a VR viewer, and I'll tell you, that stuff can really be disoriented even when you're sitting down.
That's what I heard. I mean, it can really throw you for a loop. Now I'm up here.
Okay, on Facebook Live video,
yeah,
the recommended max bit rate is 4,000 kbps. So what does that work out to? 4 megabits a second or 4 gigabits a second?
I don't know. That I have not really been able to with my figure out.
Hang on, let me just
yeah.
Okay, 4,000 kilobits per second, which is their maximum rate for Facebook Live, is 4 megabits per second. That's not a whole lot.
That's your maximum?
That's the maximum Facebook Live recommended video rate.
No kidding.
No kidding. I just went up to Facebook. I'll send you the link. Hang on.
Jerry is probably the most factual person and knows more about more things than just about anybody I've ever met. So, anyway.
Okay. Now here comes the Facebook thing, and I had to convert it, but it's 4 megabits per second maximum recommended. And now YouTube Live. Let's see what we got for that.
Well, it depends on the size of video you put up.
No, it's the maximum. It's the maximum recommended. And it is not size dependent because they will not take anything more than 720p.
Who won't?
720p. 720 resolution, 1280 by 720.
For who?
For Facebook Live.
Okay, all right, okay. And that's what I'm going to try to do the test video at. Because I had set down to a smaller size than that for Facebook, and that's what Facebook probably wouldn't accept. So,
a smaller size?
Yeah, wouldn't accept it.
What I just gave you was a maximum.
No, it was a smaller size video resolution.
But what I just gave you is the maximum. So why would a smaller size not be acceptable? And it very well could be. But how much smaller could you go?
Oh, you can go a lot smaller. It's 360, 480.
What the hell are you broadcasting from?
What am I broadcasting from?
No, to get a smaller size.
CMix.
No. To get a smaller size, where are you getting a screen resolution less than 640 or 720?
vMix. You can set up different resolutions in vMix.
Okay, why would you do that?
Well, I thought it would require less bandwidth when I uploaded.
Now, see, this is what happens when you guess, because if the maximum bit rate is 4 megasecond, reducing the size of the image isn't going to make a difference.
It doesn't?
No, because your recommended maximum bit rate is 4 megabytes per second.
Okay.
And, I'm doing, just on UVerse, I'm doing about 35 megabits a second up. So, that leaves plenty of bandwidth.
Well, I tell you what, that again, how much bandwidth I need for this and how much bandwidth I need for that is still complete fog to me. I don't know. I mean, I can't, for some reason, I can't seem to figure that out.
Well, it's the old story. You gotta learn. You gotta go research and learn.
Yeah.
And there's no lack of places. Now let me just take a look. I'm looking at YouTube now.
Okay.
Now you're not doing 4K, right?
No.
You're doing 1080 at 60 frames per second, or
no.
what?
No. Let me get that up there. I am doing. Let's see here.
Okay. Here's an example. 1080p at 60 frames per second.
Yeah.
Video bit rate range 4,500 to 9,000 kbps. So that means a maximum of 9 megabits.
I'm uploading to YouTube, streaming to YouTube at 854 by 480. And that seems to be a happy place for me to upload, to stream to YouTube.
Yeah. Well, the point I'm making is that you don't need a gigabit for this kind of broadcasting. I don't know how it is for commercial broadcasting, but you don't need a gigabit upload. I mean, streaming YouTube and Facebook Live together is 10 megabits.
And that equates out to, and I've got 35?
No, I said I got 35 on what I'm using, UVerse.
Okay. Well, anyway, after we finish the stream, I will go back and try to reset the Facebook and YouTube up, and I'll set Facebook up to 1280 by 720.
Well, I would suggest that you take a little time and just do one at a time and test it, because you can record to YouTube, you can record to Facebook. You can record to Periscope and just experiment.
Well,
because right now you're walking around in the dark.
I'm walking around in the dark. That's exactly right. Then I should try to stream them both together.
Yeah, I mean that's called learning. That's how you do it.
But I want to stream them both together.
Yeah, but you got to learn how to stream one at a time. Crawl before you walk.
I see. I understand. Won't you hold that 360 camera up again, so folks who came in late can see this? Now, would you mind telling us what it costs?
Well, it's right on that B&H page. They're $129, which is the cheapest price I found by about $30.
Now, you say B&H is a good place to buy from. You never.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Did they charge you freight on that?
No.
Oh, okay. Right.
No, they're in New York. They have no Illinois presence, so there's no tax. And they've got an excellent return policy, very much like Amazon's 30 days.
In Indiana, things are not taxed on Amazon. You're supposed to declare those when you do your federal tax.
Yeah, well, let them chase you down.
Let them chase you down, huh? You think that's the way to work that, huh?
Well,
You are a smart guy, and I really
no, it's like they've got hundreds of millions of people or tens of millions of people who buy from out-of-state vendors and don't pay Indiana sales tax. So, yeah, they can send out tons of mail, because they trade records,
who trades
uh,
records.
the states and the feds. So they can send out tons of mails demanding, that you pay use taxes on what you bought out of state. But that doesn't, how many people are going to comply? How much money are they going to spend on enforcing it? They're not at the point yet. Now today, I could not share to both because I've got I would have to make adjustments to share because my upload speed is only 4 megabits per second.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what you had today?
That's what I've got today, right now.
So where did you get the 35 from?
Now that's what I've had before when I've measured. I'm running speed test.
What time of day? I mean, is that a different time of day?
No, it doesn't. No. It doesn't work that way. Bandwidth for residential services
Where you're at?
is always changing. I mean, you're never going to get terribly high consistency. They have outages, they have reroutings, they've got local load factors. Like, I don't know how many people in my building use UVerse, but let's say that I had 10 people in my building using UVerse. Well, the last mile on UVerse is still copper. And that means that the bandwidth is going to be limited if there are a number of people using the service. The same thing applies to many Comcast installations. Now, a lot of Comcast has gone fiber to the door, but on the places where it's copper or older connections, they've got the same thing. If you get the whole neighborhood lighting up to watch a big movie on Netflix or something, each individual account will get lower.
Right. That's true. That's true. Because at different times of day when people come home from work or everybody jumps on their computer, my bandwidth goes here to here.
Yep.
And so it depends on the load. What Comcast says is the provisional bandwidth. That means the maximum could be, but you're not guaranteed to get that.
Yep.
So, but the provisional, they don't guarantee you're going to have 1 gigabit or about 1 gigabit down all the time on this service I got. So you think I ought to keep this? You think it's
no, I think I wouldn't spend $159 on connectivity. I don't need it. I mean, even if they measured, even if they measured a full gigabyte, it's still more than I need.
Oh, if it was a full 1 gigabit, huh?
Yeah, I mean, but the reality is, what do you need it for?
Well, I thought I needed to stream multiple services.
Yeah, but then I got to ask you a question. Why do you need to stream? Why do you need to stream to all the services outside of the fact that you want to?
Well, I tell you, Facebook really is what I want to say. Facebook is. I'm going to start it. There. That looks better, don't it? I got rid of that white border up above you.
I'm sorry. I was into the specs. I wasn't watching it.
That's all right. There was a white border up above you that just didn't appealed to me, and then I zoomed you a little bit, and seem to have gotten. Well, I've gotten rid of that white border above you now, and it's just a little more appealing. What do I say? And I still haven't found out how to get you full screen anymore on Skype. Now, folks, what we're doing here, there are several services that we could use to make these videos. And, well, I don't know why that is like it is. Let's see here. How I could post it in World of Life. Ooh, I knew what that was. Wow. But it just, I'm trying to figure out how to get you full screen.
In vMix, right?
No, not vMix. In Skype. You used to be able to hit something and send the Skype full screen. And I can't, and I don't find that tool anymore. Oh, there it is. I found it. Up.
Oh, you just blanked me out on the other screen.
Did what?
There I am. You blanked me out on the other half of the screen.
I see what you mean. I'm sorry. I got you full screen in Skype now, and I found out how to do that in case you ever want to know. And there's 3 icons up on the top right of Skype. There's 3 little dots. There's a what looks like an audio feed, and then the next one is chat. So if you drop down from that 3 dots, you either got full screen or switch cameras. If you had a couple cameras going in Skype, that may be the like a front and rear camera or a phone or something.
Yeah.
But if you drop down, the top one is full screen. And that still don't work very well for me oh, wow, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Let's see. Position. Now I got your full name in there.
Okay.
So anyway, that 360 camera again is a very cool device. If I could afford one, and my income's really limited now with $159 a month Comcast internet. A lot less than it was. I was down to about $60 a month.
No, nobody twisted your arm on that, George.
Nobody had me back here twisting my arm, that's for sure. And I just thought it was something that, I wanted it, kind of, to see what it's like. But again, in your mind, do you think I ought to keep it?
No, I wouldn't have it. I don't see the value to it.
So you don't,
I mean, there's nothing I do
that you need
that would require me to have that much upload bandwidth, and there's nothing I do that would require me to have that much download. I get somewhere between 25 and 30 megabits per second download.
That's what I was getting with my old service.
Yeah, and it's like you know, yeah, it'd be nicer sometimes to
Okay.
have more download bandwidth. But the only other alternative I have of Uverse in my town is Comcast, and I will never, ever again go with Comcast.
I have not had no problem with Comcast.
Lucky you.
Uh,
I and tens of millions of other Americans think they suck.
yeah, but actually, as far as Comcast consumer rating, they have a lot better consumer rating now than they've had in the past. Their rating for as far as consumers is the best it's ever been.
Well, they didn't have far to go to look better. I mean, they were the bottom of the barrel.
Almost anything would make them look better. But no,
Yeah.
honestly, they got the best consumer rating right now they've ever had.
Well, the question is the best consumer ratings according to whom?
The people they surveyed.
No. Who did the survey?
Oh, I don't have no idea.
Well, you got to be careful because outfits like J.D. Powers that are always talking about, companies are always saying ranked number one in customer service according to J.D. Powers. Well, the companies being surveyed pay J.D. Powers. It's like the old Good Housekeeping seal of approval scam.
Oh yeah.
That products had a Good Housekeeping seal. Well, sure, you could be selling rat poison for babies, and Good Housekeeping would be more than happy to sell you their seal of approval.
I need to talk to you more often. I haven't laughed like this. And I don't remember
Well,
when.
I mean, all this stuff is, it's all, you know how good a product is by how well it's selling if you can get accurate numbers, and by how long it stays in the market. Bad products eventually are driven out of the market.
Well,
May take years, but eventually the market will drive them out.
Evaporate. That's what some people think will happen if Verizon ever gets the 5G implemented to where they can have the 5G in the consumer home, because it is it's 1 gig both ways. I mean, up and down. Yeah, up and down. It's 1 gig both ways, and it's only $70 a month. And that's
Well, here we go. Everybody and their brother is talking about 5G. It's the holy grail, and here's the reality. It ain't there yet.
No.
So, what good does it do to talk about it? And there are so many variables ranging from pricing to provisioning. You don't know what's going to win in the marketplace. I mean, who would have predicted 5 years ago that T-Mobile, which was in the basement in terms of cellular carriers,
who?
T-Mobile,
Oh, T-Mobile. Yeah.
that 5 years later they would have displaced Sprint and become the third largest service instead of being substantially behind Sprint and being the fourth major service.
Yeah. I can't see.
No one. I wrote T-Mobile off for dead, and then they got that new guy in there who's really done a lot of work, and Deutsche Telekom, who owns them, put in a lot of money to do a build out.
I can't see your face hardly.
Sorry about that. I was taking the silly covering off the LG camera.
Oh, you forgot to take the cover off of it?
No, they like so many others, they put protective coating on, a protective
On the lens?
film. No, not on the lens, on the body.
Oh, Okay.
and I was just trying to pick it off because it's in pieces. So I looked away from the camera. I'm still looking away from the camera, but at least I've got my head pointed in the right direction.
Positioned better, yeah.
But you don't know who's going to win the game, and it's kind of like there are just so many variables out there, and then you got the other reality. Most people do not consume a whole lot of bandwidth. The greatest amount of bandwidth is consumed, like by maybe 10 or 20% of the people who are constantly streaming and downloading and doing this and doing that. Well, and again, I'm talking residential, not commercial.
Right. Now, the residential is going to be where people have all these connectivity gadgets in their home.
Yeah, but most of those consume virtually no bandwidth. How much bandwidth does a Internet of Things, a connected thermostat, take?
Not much, but I mean the cameras and.
How much bandwidth do you think they take?
I don't know. I mean, I don't.
Well, the security cameras take virtually no bandwidth because most people don't realize that with security cameras, most of the time, the only time they're transmitting at above a bare minimum is when there's motion in the frame.
Right. Right.
And so they take surprisingly little bandwidth, and also they keep getting better and better at compression. Now, industrial or commercial closed circuit surveillance cameras are a different story.
Why?
Because they're recording much more detailed images.
Oh, I see.
And many of them are in high traffic environments, so they are basically always broadcasting. But even then, you start looking at some of the predictive algorithms, and they utilize some really cool tricks in the processing to reduce the bandwidth that they consume. And most of them, of course, are going to land-oriented networks. They're going to fiber optic networks.
Okay.
Or they're using high-frequency transfers. They're not using stuff like, 2.4 and 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. It's a different world. But for most of us, I do a lot of computing on long days, but I'd look it up right now, but it's I don't remember how to do it. But I use surprisingly little bandwidth, and that's true of most people. So the whole idea, it's like selling cars with big engines to young men or old men who believe they're trying to pretend they're young.
Yeah.
Who the hell needs a 600 horsepower engine in a passenger car?
Almost 800 horsepower Dodge Demon has.
Well, who needs it? I mean, who's going to use it?
You can't use it in the general public.
Well, you can't use it legally.
Have you ever tried this stuff?
Hang on, I got to switch to my screen. I've never even seen it. What is it?
Peak, Gold Peak tea, sweet tea.
I don't drink tea.
You don't drink tea? Well, I like tea, so I decided to give this a try. But I won't buy it again because it comes in a 6-pack, and it's $5.99 a 6-pack. That's making it almost $1 a bottle. So I won't buy it again. But it is really good. I mean, it really is good tea. But again, $1 a bottle. If Coca, you're drinking Coca-Cola up there, right?
Yep.
If that Coke was $1 a can, would you buy it?
I have no idea. I don't buy the stuff my wife does.
Okay.
I kind of doubt that she would.
Yeah, I very doubt if she would too. But anyway, we're getting up almost to an hour. Do you want to try this again next week?
Probably. I'm not going anywhere. I have no world
well, again,
no world tours specified. I'd send you 2 links. One to Be Live TV, and then another one to something called, I gotta find it. Hang on.
2 Live TV, is that the one link? Now what?
Yeah, hang on. Let me see if I can find the other one.
Okay. What is 2 Live TV?
Be Live TV.
Be Live TV.
It's a simplified streaming service for Facebook Live. And the idea is that it makes it real simple for anyone to become a broadcaster on Facebook. You simply go to Be Live TV, and you send whoever you want an invitation to join you. And then poof, they are you're on there on Facebook TV with a live stream, and you can invite the people that you want.
Really?
Yeah, it's real simple.
Oh, okay. I'll put a link to this down, and of all the stuff we talked about, your 360 camera and Be Live 2B, down in the description in this video.
And I've got to try it because it really sounds
interesting, huh?
Yeah, very, very interesting. And the other one does the same thing. The second one, Smile Time, is better in terms of capability, but they charge over. It's like Zoom. They charge when you get to a certain limit or a certain number of people or whatnot.
Oh, I see.
But it's really.
How about Be Live 2B? They charge?
No, that's free right now.
That sounds like the one I'd want. Okay, but you want to try this again next Tuesday?
Whoops! Hang on! I got to kill a.
Okay.
I hate these damned videos that start up when you come into a site. It's like, it really, just don't do that to me.
Okay.
I mean, I would hate to be in an office and you're, supposedly working and you're cheating a little bit and you go to a site and it starts talking. But, yeah, Be Live looks real interesting. Now, I have no idea of whether it would be possible to feed that through vMix or not. I've got to experiment a little bit with that and find out. I don't think it would. I think it's a dedicated service for Facebook.
Okay.
Anyway, I got to get to work.
Yep.
And I will see you next week.
Okay. Now it's 1 p.m. Central Time next Tuesday.
Yeah, subject, as always, to changes and all that stuff.
All right, Jerry. It's been great, man. I really enjoyed talking to you again today.
Okay, catch you later.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.